So let me ask you something, man. Can you give us a full recap from the battles that popped off yesterday?
Yeah, I can. I'm still, I'm still doing it on live, but I can give y'all a recap. It's no big deal. The first, it kind of started late, but the performances before the battle started were nice. Like a lot of those people were really talented. Had some good performances, like 3 or 4 of them. They had an open mic contest. The winner won $100. My nigga Kim Archer ended up winning that. Shout out to that nigga. He ended up winning the open mic shit, so that was fire. The first battle, the first battle was supposed to be Accolade versus Dr. KC, but Dr. KC couldn't make it. So Accolade ended up battling T Starks because they thought Cali Skills wasn't going to make it, and he ended up coming late. But so Accolade and T Starks battled for 1 round, and it was fire. It was like a fire 1-round battle. It was impromptu and everything. Dope as fuck. Great way to start off the shit. And then, I don't know who I give it to because, you know what I mean? It's a 1-round battle. It was always hard to judge. Their styles were different. Accolade was more like entertaining, and he was, he was being outlandish, but he had bars. Starks was more direct, and he was like hitting them with bars. Plus, he had nice freestyle ability, so it was really dope, man. That first battle set it off nicely. And then it was who was the next one? Oh, Grimm versus Black Anise. That battle was fire too. Every battle on the card was fire. Let's put that out there. Every battle on the card was fire. Everybody did their shit last night. It was dope as fuck. But Grimm and Black Anise, they had a good battle. It was good. Grimm was consistent throughout the whole thing. That's the Beans homie. You know what I mean? Cali Beans. Grimm was consistent throughout the whole thing. Black Anise had a crazy first round. He kind of slowed down in the second, but then came back on the third. It was a nice battle. So, I mean, if I had to give it to him right now, because, you know what I mean, it's live, I'd give it to Grimm, like 2-1, but they could go either way on the cam, you know what I mean? Like, that was a good exchange. And then who was next after that? Oh, it was the first 2-on-2. Shrapnel and Napalm of, you know what I mean, iEvolve versus Aries and Cass, you know what I mean, the 2 vets and freestyling versus Shrap and Napalm, who are iEvolve, you know what I mean, they've been battling for a little bit, so it was cool to see, like, you know what I mean, four veterans, you know what I mean, in that realm go at it, and it was dope. Aries and Cass, they were freestyling the whole time. They had some pretty good chemistry. They had effed up on the first, they were like stuck trying to get it together, but pretty well, you know what I mean, well-rounded rounds, even though they were freestyling. It was kind of dope. Aries kind of held Cass back a little bit. So it kind of looked like it was going down because of him, but Cass was definitely spitting, and Aries had some shit, but he was doing a lot of stumbling. Shrap and Napalm, they were fire. Shrapnel he was spitting. It was ridiculous. And Napalm had a great chemistry with him because they're actually partners, you know what I mean? They're in the same squad. So it was dope. They did a really good job. I have to give it to somebody. I give it to them, you know what I mean, 3-0. You know what I mean? Just edging it because, like I said, they were freestyling, but they were actually coming with some stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it was 3-0, but it was a nice battle, like for 2-on-2. That was cool. They did a really good job, and then so that happened. What was after that one? Skits MC versus Focus. That was cool. Skits MC obviously came prepared, and Focus he kind of like freestyled most of his shit, and it was cool. Like some of it was cool. Like it wasn't super bad. But Skits was so prepared, you know what I mean? He just, like, completely bodied Focus. It was bad.
Damn.
He got messed up. Focus got messed
ugly?
up. I don't care what anyone says. Focus was cool, you know what I mean, when you freestyle, and some of the stuff was hidden, but a lot of that stuff was, like, just, like, random filler. You feel what I'm saying? And then he had, like, a lot of, like, suspect bars that were, like, all, like, you know, they were kind of, like, gay bars. Like, you know what I mean? Just a little bit. Like, I wasn't sure. But when you see on camera, you're gonna see, man. I was just like, there was a lot of pause moments. R&B was right there, and he asked him, and he was sitting next to me, and he was like, dog. I was like, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like some of the shit he was saying was not suspect, yo. Like so, it was crazy. And Skits was in top shape. He beasted that whole battle. He really, and then he rebutted because the dude had talked about his girl, and he brought the girl his girl to the rebuttal and told her, you know, it was fire. It was fire. You gotta see that shit. It was dope. It was still an overall good battle. Just Focus. I kind of wish he had a rope. You know what I mean? because then it would have been more closer. You know what I'm saying? Because Skits like completely bodied him. It was bad for him. It was bad for focus, but he did. You know, he did good for freestyling, but he died that night, and it's okay to die. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta admit that you died. And then who was after that? Terrence Spitz versus Sabernac the Bear. That battle was fire. It was intense as fuck too. I mean, Spitz is obviously Beam, so you know what I mean. Obviously, I was going for him, but the battle itself was just like mad intense because nobody like really knows the backstory. Like Sabernac used to be part of the Beams. Like, you know what I mean, after we saw him battle, you know what I mean, like dope, you know what I mean. So he let him part of the Beams, and then you know, I guess he kind of got shook because you know the Beams were being kind of, I don't want to say controversial, but people were talking shit about us. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I guess he didn't want to be attached to that, which, you know what I mean? That's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever. It's just the way he did it. So, but this won't come out on video. You're gonna see. It's gonna be crazy. And it was an intense battle. You know, we almost. That's one of the incidents that almost happened. We almost. I almost got a little heated. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool though. It was a good battle. I can't call that one because I feel like both of them did really well. You know what I'm saying? It was to me 2-1 either way. It could have been 2-1 either way. It's based on preference. You know what I'm saying? So when you see it on video, it's gonna be fire though. It was a really good battle. They did really good. Then it was me and BF versus K Philosophy and Griffin, which to me was, you know what I mean, one of the battles of the night. That one and Mega one in Compton. But I'm gonna talk about that one after. The tag team was crazy. It was nuts. K Philosophy and Griffin had some shit. They were snapping on the first round. I mean, they came out the gate wilding out. And I was like, dang, like, you know what I mean? Like they was firing on us. It was like, oh, hey, that's what's up. I mean, we got some dope shit in the first, but I'll give them the first. You know what I'm saying? They got that. Because they came out the gate chilling. The second round, I believe we got that one. That was we kind of turned up on that round, and then you know what I mean, rightfully so. You know what I mean? The first round was like kind of like, you know what I mean, flowing into it, and then the second round was like bringing the intensity and the heat. And then the third round, that was the debatable round because both of us were snapping. I mean, we were going. Like the third round, we both stumbled. Like both teams stumbled in the third, but it wasn't one of those things where it was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like it took too long to come back. It was just one of those things like, oh, you know what I mean? A memory lapse, and then they came in and then we had one, but we came back and it was dope. The whole battle was crazy. It was dope as hell. I salute to those two because, you know what I'm saying, that was a dope ass battle, man. It was so fun to do another 2-on-2. You know what I mean? I'm trying to still. Me and BS were still trying to do, you know what I mean, some more 2-on-2 to get our game up. You know what I mean? So we can really be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? But that was fire. And K Philosophy and Griffin need to do more tag teams. They have really good chemistry together. Dope shit. And then Mega One and Ron Compton happened. And Ron Compton. Shout out to both of these niggas, by the way. This was the battle of the night, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? This battle was crazy. Ron Compton was snapping. From the gate, Ron Compton was snapping. From the jump. His first 2 rounds were crazy. They were insane. And then he had some shit. You know what I mean? Like he was singing some. Ron Compton was in rare form. He elevated Major in this battle, and it was ridiculous. He did his shit. Mega was dope. I mean, he's got this like aggressive, wild style. You know what I mean? And it's like kind of like all over the place, but he does have a flow to it. It's just like sometimes the bars don't hit like they should. You know what I mean? Because of the rhythm that he goes in. You know what I mean? And he if he slowed down a little bit, some of those bars would have hit a lot harder. You know what I mean? But he was snapping too. Mega and Ron had a good battle. That was a good one. It was a great one. So it was dope. You know what I'm saying? And then Raw, and then the last battle of the night was Raw and Raw T and Crispy. Raw T was working, so he came a little late. But that battle was 1 round, but it was mad heated, yo. It was crazy as hell, yo. Like Raw was barking on him. Crazy. That's the Beans nigga. I was also Cali Beans Raw. He was barking crazy on Crispy, going ham. I mean, it was nasty. When you see the clips, it was nasty. Raw was going ham. He was another guy. He left the blended. And Crispy, I expected some dopeness, you know what I mean, out of him. And in the beginning, it was kind of slow and, you know what I mean, extra whack. But then he started Then he started to pick it up. You know what I mean? He went ham, like his lines, his motifs, everything. He was doing like this, but he was going over time. You know what I mean? Like it was like 1 minute and five. It was 1 round 5 minutes. He was rapping for like 8. You know what I mean? And you know the venue dudes and the people that had the venue like trying to stop him, and then you know what I mean, he was kind of over time because we were cutting into somebody else's event. It kind of got bad. They turned off the lights in part of Crispy's round.
Damn.
They turned off the lights. While he was rapping. So, you know what I mean? That pretty much indication you need to hurry the hell up. Get the fuck up out of our spot. You know what I mean? I got that. You know what I mean? But he was rapping too long. You know what I mean? Just simple as that. He waited too long to turn up. You know what I mean? Because if he did that in the beginning, the battle would have been more debatable. But Raw clearly took that. So it was a good event overall. And then outside, Cali Skills and T Starks ended up battling. Impromptu. I put that shit on live on retrospect. They were because they were supposed to battle that night. You know what I mean? And so T Starks still wanted to battle him. So Cali Skills was like, yeah, and they did on some real hip hop shit. You know what I mean? Just for the culture. And we were the outside. We was battling outside. So, you know what I mean? I love that shit. And it was like, you know what I mean, other kind of battles happening outside of the event too. Like Knox and Max had a freestyle battle against Sabernac and Accolade just for no reason. You feel what I'm saying? Just on some hip hop shit. It was dope as fuck. Like the whole event was awesome, yo. It was fucking. I had a great time, yo. Like not just battling, but watching the battles, being a part of the event, the atmosphere was fucking nuts, man. It was awesome as fuck, man. I had a great time. But we were definitely in the building. West Coast was definitely in the building last night. I saw from a D posted West Coast was definitely in the building at URL. I mean, you know what I mean, Central Coast was doing this shit. We all, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can see it, man. It's progressing, and I love that shit. You know what I mean? I love to see the West pushing. You know what I mean? We got heavy hitters out here, and they need to be heard. You know what I mean? We got these big dudes. You know what I mean? These niggas who just straight killing niggas, and they need to be heard just like the rest of the regions. You know what I mean? So that's why it's West or nada, nigga. Period.
That's a fact, though. That's a fact, man. But yeah, man, that's the iEvolve Area 51 recap from the West on King Malcolm Jamahl, man. Appreciate you going ahead and breaking all that event down, King. Can't wait for them battles to go ahead and drop on camera as